Welcome back, everyone.
And we welcome you to the felicitation ceremony of NISM Financial Markets Quiz and Essay Writing Contest 2022 under Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
It's time for us to welcome our dignitaries of the event. So now, we would like to invite our guest for today on the dais, please. Respected Shri Ashwani Bhatia, sir, whole-time member SEBI. Sir, we request you to please come on the dais.
Shri Garg Executive Director SEBI.
And Shri Santosh Kumar Sharma, sir, Chief General Manager, SEBI.
And our chief guest for today's event, Ms. Madhabi Puri Buch, Chairperson, SEBI, who will be joining us virtually shortly.
Moving ahead with the ceremony, we would now request Shri Garg Executive Director SEBI, to present floral welcome to our guest, Shri Ashwani Bhatia, sir, whole-time member SEBI. Can we have a huge round of applause, please?
सुस्वागतम कर रहा आपका हर सुमन, सुस्वागतम कर रहा आपका हर सुमन, आप आए यहाँ आपको शत शत नमन. Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would like to have the pleasure to introduce Shri Garg, Executive Director SEBI. Shri Garg has handled several important assignments in SEBI since joining in January 1994. He has been closely associated with SEBI and Government of India's initiatives on financial literacy and investor education in the country. Shri Garg was instrumental in launching of SEBI Complaints Redress System, popularly known as SCORES, Securities Market Trainers Program for Investor Education, toll-free helpline, and financial education through resource persons. Shri Garg played crucial role in establishment of NISM and setting up its new campus at Patal Ganga. His current portfolio includes Office of Investor Assistance in Education, Enforcement Department, Information Technology Department, and General Services Department. Shri Garg is SEBI nominee on the Board of Investor Education and Protection Fund Authority set up by Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Government of India, and Technical Group on Financial Inclusion and Financial Literacy under Financial Stability Development Council. Shri Garg is the chair of Board of National Center for Financial Education and holds degree in Engineering, Law, and Management. Thank you so much, sir. Now, with this, we would like to request Shri Garg, Executive Director SEBI, to kindly welcome our August gathering. Shri Garg ji.
Respected Madam Madhabi Puri Buch, Chairperson, who would be joining shortly or might have joined online. Respected Shri Ashwani Bhatia, whole-time member SEBI. Shri Santosh Kumar Sharma, Chief General Manager SEBI. August gathering comprising of principals from various parts of the country. Winners, not a single losers, all the winners. Regional and other rounds, or I'll say next round of winners. All the team members from SEBI who made this happen, and the team NISM. While this may look for a few people a momentous event or a one-day event, but let me tell you friends, this has been more than a year. The team has been working tirelessly. Team has been working without even thinking of which Saturday, Sunday, and how to do it. Think just at a scale, if you have 3 lakhs students from all parts of the country, more than 2,500 colleges, different languages for essay competitions, connecting everyone through our online platform. Let them appear for the test, decide the results, regional winner, national winner, quiz competition, and huge amount of logistics. It's not easy to invite hundreds of participants at NISM campus at such a short notice. So I welcome all of you. It's a great moment, great pleasure. It gives me immense happiness that today we are on the concluding event of this entire Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav quiz competition, essay competition we had finalized. I'm extremely glad that Madam Madhabi Puri Buch, Chairperson SEBI, has kindly consented that she would join us shortly. I'm extremely glad to say that she also mentioned that she may like to interact with the winners. So I invite all the winners who are around here. While she may have some question, or if you also want to interact on anything, you are most welcome. So I invite all of you to come here on the stage while our team connect to Madam Madhabi Puri Buch. What I would do is, I'll have my rest of the message after, so that she need not wait, because it is already around 11:55. So if there is any interaction, you can tell which college you belong to and what you are representing. And I suppose Rashmi and team, you have already conveyed to her who are the winners, including the winner of the essay competition. Okay, so I'll request now IT team of SEBI and NISM to kindly connect to Madam, or I'll first interact with her, tell her to come online, and then we can start, interaction, or she may address all of you.
Very good morning to all of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for keynote address of the day. We now have Ms. Madhabi Puri Buch, Chairperson SEBI, who has graced this occasion with her presence through video conferencing. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much indeed. Just a quick check, you're able to hear me properly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect.
So
First of all, it's a pleasure to be here, and absolutely wonderful to see the winners of our quiz contest and the essay writing contest. A very big congratulations to all of you. Let me start by saying that as I thought about this entire process that we have been through and the entire approach to identifying people who are, first of all, highly interested in the market, and then have demonstrated their capability and their ability by competing among so many people to emerge the winners, I thought to myself that there is something very much in common between our process that we have been through, this quiz and essay writing contest, and the Ranji Trophy process and the Indian Idol process that our country has seen. And as I thought about it, the single most important aspect that links or is common to all of these processes is that it has facilitated the democratization of talent. You know, no longer do you need to be from a particular family or close to a particular power center, or take favors from people. Talent is just discovered across the country in such a wonderful and democratized fashion that every single Indian citizen has the opportunity to demonstrate his or her talent. And as I said, in areas as diverse as cricket and singing and dancing, and now the markets. So it's indeed with a lot of humility and with a lot of appreciation that I would like to share how wonderfully happy I am to see all of you here, because it tells me that we have been able to reach, as SEBI, we have been able to reach the furthest corners of the country and bring to the fore talent, which is today standing here right before me. So a very, very big congratulations to all of you. Moving forward, I always feel when I meet with youngsters that what do youngsters think and feel? They are on the threshold of the rest of their lives. They're students and they're very soon going to step into their working careers, married life, children, and they have their whole future ahead of them. And what is it that they think and what is it that they feel? And while I would like to take this opportunity towards the latter half of this session to interact with you and ask you, what's going on in your heads, I do think that from our perspective, we are the earlier generations. To us, you are the manifestation of the future, because you are talent, you are potential, you are the people who are going to be sitting where we are sitting today. And you are the ones who are going to lead this country and its institutions going forward. And to me, that really means that there is this whole confidence that we can have in the youth of today in terms of what they can do. Our generation was very fortunate. We had the entire, what should I say, the force of the liberalization process in our country behind us. So in the late 80s, early 90s, we had the benefit of that momentum. The country was growing, the financial sector was growing, and we had tremendous opportunity to ride that wave. Today, each of you is also very part of a very fortunate generation because you are digital natives. For us, we were immigrants into the digital world. We had to learn what technology was about. We had to learn what digital was all about. But you have been born into that world. So as digital natives, your ability to really leverage technology is unparalleled. You do it naturally, you do it with a flair, you do it without much effort. And I think that in the context of India, as we celebrate 75 years of independence, and as we celebrate and look forward to the next 75 years, the single biggest opportunity we have is to leverage the talent of our youth, particularly in the area of technology, to really move forward and to grow our institutions, our markets, our opportunities, our businesses to scale. And at an amazing cost. India is one of those few countries that can rightfully claim that its ability to scale at very, very low cost is amazing. And this combination of scale and low cost is what drives inclusion. Whether it is financial inclusion or any other kind of inclusion, this combination of scale and cost is what is really important. I would only add a third dimension, being a regulator. I must say that apart from scale, which leads to business and revenue, apart from cost, which makes it very cost-effective, profitable, and therefore inclusive, we need to also, going forward, bring in the dimension of technology-based risk management and compliance management. And those are the areas which I think going forward have a tremendous potential because they need to be baked into the processes. Compliance and risk is not something that resides outside of businesses. They reside very much inside businesses. And baking that into the whole recipe is going to be an amazingly interesting opportunity going forward. So I'm hoping that all of you, your generation, that we look forward to seeing your potential manifest itself. We hope that you will leverage the world of technology, that you will bring to our country more and more inclusion, and that you will find that process exceedingly rewarding, both financially as well as in terms of the sense of having achieved something that was significant and meaningful for our country. I will stop there, but I would like to take this opportunity, since all of you are there, I would like to very much take this opportunity to learn about what is going on in the heads of our youth, particularly in the context of our markets, particularly in the context of SEBI. And therefore, I would like to throw the floor open, both to any questions, as well as any observations that you may have regarding the future and the way you see it for our markets. Over to you.
Hi, ma'am. I'm Shantanu Jha, and I'm a second year MBA student from MDI Gurgaon. So initially, I've been working with mortgage-backed securities in the Moody's department, and I've always wondered why India, as a system which has developed so much in terms of real estate and REITs, with GST it has formalized the real estate sector, but it still lags in terms of asset-backed securities or mortgage-backed securities, whereas the liquidity in terms of US market has been going to trillions of dollars. And so it can be used to solve, the liquidity crisis from NBFC to banks. So why is it that the markets are not picking up on it? We have the regulations from RBI. It's not that we don't have anything there. So is there any particular point?
Yeah. So, that's a very, very interesting question. And I must tell you personally, I'm a great fan of asset-backed securitization for two reasons. Number one, it segregates and isolates risk, which is very important. Because in a world where transparency can lead to better pricing, right? Fundamentally, what drives? If there is a lot of opacity in a system, then the entire system assumes the worst in terms of risk and prices accordingly. Whereas if there is transparency about a particular portfolio, in your case, the example that you're giving, you have a portfolio, you can see the behavior of the portfolio, you can see the delinquencies in the portfolio, you can see the past day dues of the portfolio. With that transparency comes the ability to then very finely price and say that a highly good quality portfolio should be priced much more competitively than a poorly performing portfolio. So the entire process of merit-based pricing in the country, which is risk-based pricing in the country, can be best achieved through a process of asset-based securitization, which includes mortgage-based securitization. And I think that the time has indeed come, and RBI has some very good facilitative regulations in this regard, some very, balanced regulations, because in the past there was a lot of opportunistic profit making on account of securitization. RBI has smoothened all that out and put in place a very good framework. I think the ability for retail participation in securitized assets, particularly in mortgage-backed securities, could be very significant. So I take your point back, and I will request my team. We do have a recently set up committee on hybrid instruments, and I think it's a very valid point. Personally, I would love to invest in securitized assets. So you have one vote from me, and we will certainly look into it.
Hi, ma'am. This is Aniket from IT Kharagpur. So my question is, we will soon start with our careers. Our careers are just beginning. So I heard somewhere that so we are advised to start investing, start saving for our future, right? But the amount of money we save right now is very less compared to what we will have, let's say, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. So the money we save right now is very small compared to that. So what I've heard that we should instead focus on investing on experiences, on learning, on upskilling. I agree with learning and upskilling, but do you think instead of saving 10,000 rupees, I should invest in experiences and travel the world? What do you think? What are your views on that?
So here I must tell you that, even my son is much older than you are. So you can see which generation I come from. And the first day that my son started earning, I asked him, do you have a plan of what to do with your salary? And I was very pleased that he immediately sent me an Excel sheet saying, this is my plan. There were two things in that first of all surprised me, and then I must admit made me very happy. The first was he had a line item of investment, and it was modest. I think what is not important is how much you put into it. I think it's a question of creating a habit to say that there is value in putting away a little bit every month for the discipline of making sure that you're not living beyond your means, because that is a sure route to disaster. And also, you will be surprised, we all know the story of Akbar and Birbal and the story of compounding, right? So no matter what you say, that number does grow to be a very significant number. So, boon boon se sagar banta hai kind of story. So I would certainly say that that's a line item that I felt very proud when my son sent it to me. The second line item that he sent, which surprised me, he had a line item for donation. And when we were young, we were of that generation where, we didn't think that the surplus was there for donation. It was, as you said, that, what do I experience, me, my family, etc. Let's have fun. And I'm a great believer in having fun. But just the fact, and again, it's not important how much you do. It can even be 200 rupees in the month. It doesn't matter how much it is. But the fact that it is there, it's in your plan, and you think it's important. I think both of these, let me just say, it made me feel proud about myself.
Hello. Hi, good afternoon, ma'am. I'm Iti Mishra from National Law University, Jodhpur. I graduated in 2020 and currently I'm working in Cyril Amarchand Mangaldas in the capital markets team. I don't have a question, but I just have an observation. So initially when I started practicing, the kind of approach that I saw when clients come to us with certain kind of problems, or let's say they have failed to comply with certain regulations, we would try and find loopholes in the regulation and see how can we save that client. But recently, I mean from the past 4-5 months at least now, I have begun to see that all my seniors and the partners who advise the clients, they immediately tell them that no, SEBI won't accept this. You please go and intimate them, or whatever the charges, you please pay. So just an appreciation in how proactive SEBI has been, and it will definitely go a long way in reaching where we want to be. Thank you.
So of course, I take that as a big compliment, and on behalf of SEBI. But I would like to share with you what is the difference in the approach. And what is the message that has gone out to the market? We hope, because it is not by accident, it is by design that we have sent out this message. And there are 2 dimensions to this message. The first is that we will not have double standards. So if we expect you to come to us with data and not dogma, we will also come to the table with data and not dogma. So there is no discussion that we will have now which is based on, no, but our regulation says this. The discussion will be, this is what our regulation says. There may have been a good reason why that regulation was crafted in that manner at a certain point in time. If there is a problem you as participants in the market are facing, let's sit down and discuss policy from first principles. What is right, what is good, what is bad, and let's both bring data to the table to support our argument. It is not important what is your opinion, my opinion. In fact, now in SEBI, even a junior officer stands up and with data can argue his point. It's not important what the chairperson thinks, because it's not a matter of opinion, it's about what the data supports. So I think that we have sent the message that if there is an unreasonable regulation, we are willing to discuss it from first principles based on data, and we are open to modifying it. But along with this comes the responsibility that you must comply. If there is a problem in compliance, come to us because we are open about it, but you cannot not comply and then, the letter of the law and the spirit of the law and the fine nuances and the splitting of hairs and interpreting every comma and full stop in a very convenient way. Yes, you may do that. And to be honest, in higher courts of law, in appeal, etc., you may even win. We are not saying many of SEBI's orders are set aside. But the point is that the kind of market we are trying to build? Is that the kind of ecosystem that we want our children to inherit? So that is the fundamental difference, and it's a give and take. Unless we are open to changing what is wrong with us, we cannot expect other people to comply what we have put down in writing. So thank you for your observation, and at SEBI we greatly appreciate that.
Hello, madam. I'm Dr. Rupali Kulkarni from Nasik. I work in Financial Institute as well as in engineering academics. I also want to share my observation and then ask a question. We still observe that the investments in market are limited to a particular class, and we are not able to percolate the effect to the common man. or the villagers or farmers. Right, so I just want to share my idea of financial literacy club that we run in many of the academic institutions in Maharashtra, almost 15 plus institution, and almost 30,000 students have been reached through this club. What they do is they go to, we gave the, train them to initial financial literacy they should have at their age, and then they go to gram panchayats, villages and farmers and explain them these things, help them, assist them, and try to bring them into mainstream. That is, they're doing the efforts of financial inclusion. So I just want to share that if I can do it at my age and in a small town like Nasik and can reach to 30,000 students, and they in turn are reaching to various gram panchayats and helping people, then if this efforts is carried out at national level supported by organizations like SEBI, we can really use our youngsters, the power of youth, to reach to masses. And this, as you were explaining, can cause a scalable effect to bring these common people into the market. So my question is, how can we get support from organizations like SEBI for our efforts like this?
So first of all, I'm really happy, very, very happy to see all of this work literally at the ground level. We have a very active program called the Resource Persons Program. Mr. Garg, who's there with you, our Executive Director, he runs the entire program. So maybe offline you can discuss with him what are the requirements. There's also a new program, which is a SMARTS program. Both of these, I think, would be very suitable for the kind of work that you have described. I would actually like to add a layer to that, which is an issue that we've been debating within SEBI for a few months now, which is that, I often ask people, did anyone teach you how to use WhatsApp? And invariably the answer is no. Somebody introduced me to it, maybe just broadly outlined, what to do, and it's an app you download, etc., etc. But after that, I pretty much figured it out myself. I'm not at all advocating that people should figure out financial markets for themselves. No, they need a lot of guidance because there's a lot of risk embedded in the markets. But when I think about financial inclusion and how to, and I sometimes hesitate to use the word educate because it's very, talking down. It's not about talking down to someone and saying, I know something you don't know. It's about exposure, right? So it's about I still remember the first day that I was made responsible for the treasury operations of a large bank, and I had no idea what derivatives are about. Zero. And I was now in charge. And I called the youngest person in the team and I said, give me a tutorial on what derivatives is all about. And I think he sat with me for about 15 days every evening for about 2 hours to give me tutorials to really help me understand that ye cheez hoti kya hai. Now, that mode of learning was very different. We were a very different generation. Today, the way that digital media exists and the way that people consume digital media is so different. So there are so many things that I learned today, which, I don't need to resort to the kind of tutorials that I had to take, 20 years ago. So we are struggling with it, and we would love to hear the views of young people. How do we use the digital media? How do we use, and I keep repeating to everybody, YouTube ads today are 6 seconds. That's all. You get 6 seconds in which to say what you want to say. And if you go beyond that, you've lost the audience. So how do we make investor awareness, I would call it more awareness than education, bite-sized so that it can be consumed easily, quickly, in small packets, and in an interesting way, not in a Baba Adam, zamana, and, starting from the fundamentals of, what is a share and what is the stock market. That doesn't cut it anymore. So we are certainly very keen to do that. And I think maybe I would request the SEBI team and NISM to maybe have some kind of a hackathon on really talking about how we can make these bite-sized investor awareness content. I would just call it content, which is interesting, exciting, fun, and oftentimes so low cost to produce. So maybe that what you have just said is thrown up another idea. And of course, NISM will say, "Arey, Chairperson came and gave us now 3-4 more targets in addition to everything else that we had to do." But I think it would make for a very interesting hackathon.
Yes, thank you so much.
Good afternoon, ma'am. So I am Sahil Ramchandani from Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, Kolkata. I had a question. So recently US Fed has been like hiking rates and RBI also has been following suit, and there are like talks of a recession being around the corner and all. So I wanted to know your outlook on the Indian economy and the markets in general. So what are your thoughts on it?
So I'll break up my answer into 2 parts. The first is that, we are a part of the larger global ecosystem, and the flows of capital, the way that they work in the global ecosystem, will naturally impact us. They impacted us positively when liquidity was all awash. They will have their necessary impact as liquidity is withdrawn. And that's a cycle which was always inevitable, anticipated, and not a surprise at all. So is it something we need to worry about? The answer is no. It will follow its cycles. And if you see, and particularly from our perspective, if you look at, the Sensex or the Nifty, and you see how they move in terms of various cycles, there is volatility, and there are big dips occasionally, and then you have a new peak, and then a new peak, and a new peak, and volatility around the trend line. And I keep laughing, and I tell people that, look, when the markets were doing so well and you were feeling, fear of missing out, the famous FOMO, and saying, oh, I should have done it then, I should have done it then. Well, this is the dip that you're supposed to buy on. So if you regretted not buying at that time, this is the one that you were waiting for. So cycles will come and go, and they're nothing to, worry about, because they follow the basic principles of economics, and they will, the cycles by definition are cycles, and you come out of it. What makes me particularly optimistic about the Indian economy? I look at only 2 sets of numbers. Life is very complicated. I have to simplify my life. And so I only look at 2 sets of numbers. The first set of numbers are the tax collection numbers, because as we all know, nobody pays taxes unless they absolutely have to. Okay, so nobody dresses up their tax payments. So I look at the GST numbers, and the way I see it, month on month, the numbers are growing. We're almost at about 1.5 crores of GST collections every month. So that tells me that the economy, in terms of its growth, it is there, it is real. I also look at the advanced tax numbers, because often we worry that the top line is growing because of inflation and volume growth, but where is the profit? So I look at advanced tax numbers because those reflect profit. Nobody is going to pay advanced tax unless they are anticipating a certain profit for the year. And that too has been growing very healthily. So if I look at the tax numbers, it continues to give me a lot of confidence in the Indian economy. The second set of numbers that I like to look at, because I often worry that maybe the first set of numbers could be dominated by the world of finance. We do know that the financial sector, for instance, constitutes a very large proportion of even the market cap of our markets. So I like to look at the real economy. So for the real economy, I like to look at the power consumption. I look at both industrial power consumption and also household, because in rural areas for agricultural purposes, there is a bit of a mix, often the way in which that power consumption is classified. So I prefer to look at both industrial and household power consumption. And that also tells me, the data shows me that we are in a good place, we are growing, capacity is being utilized, and we continue to be on a growth path. So while I think as a country we need to be prepared for the natural and inevitable consequences of liquidity being sucked out of the system and inflation and all the rest of that. At its core, the Indian economy is extremely resilient, and it's something that I think is reflected in the markets as well. A lot of people feel that the resilience in the markets is primarily because of the retail money coming into the markets. That is true, because even as the FPIs took away the money, and they took away, over the last 8-10 months, almost 30,000-40,000 crores every month. So that money went out, but still the markets are resilient because retail investors, both directly and through the mutual funds, continue to believe in the Indian story. And that belief in the Indian story has a strong basis in both these sets of numbers that I like to look at and I've been tracking over the last many decades. So I am an optimist in terms of where our country and our economy is headed.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, thank you.
So I am conscious of the time, Mr. Garg. I have time, but I don't know what's on your schedule. I don't want to eat into anything. So I'm happy to be guided by you. Last question or last couple of questions, what would you advise?
Ma'am, we are extremely honored to have you with us. So there cannot be, any timeline when we have Chairperson, Madam, right with us. I'll request you if you spend time, or maybe we have some of the best talent here actually. They have come as you so with very, very rigorous process. At least each one of them should kindly allow at least each one of them one question to ask, if you permit.
All right, I'm with you.
Thank you.
Ready for next.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am, and thank you for taking some time out from your schedule to spend it with us. I'm Bhanu from Management Development Institute, Gurgaon. I'm a second-year MBA student. So my question is, of late we've seen a growing trend of youth where they are focusing more towards decentralization, deregulation, and they're trying to find avenues of investment that fit their ideas and ideals. So do you think SEBI is taking any initiative in this regard? Are they going to change their stance as a regulator to accommodate this new generation of investors? Where do you think SEBI comes into this picture? Thank you.
So first a question to you, are we talking about crypto? Is that what you are hinting towards?
I was trying not to be explicit, ma'am. Thanks.
Well, people who know me know that I call a spade a spade. So if you're talking about crypto, I would say the following. There are a very large number of benefits of the technology, of which crypto is just one manifestation, right? So the whole distributed ledger technology has a lot of benefits in terms of democratization, in terms of potentially low cost. I don't believe we are there yet in the crypto world, but potentially very low cost. About empowerment and about infinite fractionization and therefore inclusion. So there are a lot of benefits to adopting this technology. However, one of the biggest downsides is the anonymity. And that under any circumstance, under any situation, no country, no government, no regulator can ever endorse that you have any kind of financial transactions of any nature whatsoever in an anonymous fashion. So if you have DLT being deployed in a manner that does not permit anonymity, I think there will be a lot of support from everybody in the ecosystem because it has huge benefits. And we are a world, we are a country that needs, again, low cost, democratized, small ticket, small value transactions. And the whole UPI regulation that, RBI has demonstrated, and the entire, technology-based growth of our demat accounts that has been demonstrated, it all rides on, lower and lower cost and greater democratization. So if you're thinking of entering that world, wherever your core proposition depends on anonymity, I would say it's only a matter of time before the regulation stops you. sooner or later, probably sooner than later. So a business model built on that aspect of crypto, you would be well advised to stay away from. The second thing is that what is the base of crypto assets? And there I would say that if the central bank of the country does come up with a central bank cryptocurrency, then for the entire ecosystem to be able to build on that. So today, as you know, many of the token-based innovation that is going on rides on Ether. But Ether itself is in private hands and vulnerable. So if you imagine an ecosystem where you replace Ether with the central bank cryptocurrency, then the ability to innovate on top of that would be very consistent with the approach that we as a country have taken, which is to say that the public infrastructure has to be in public hands. It has to be a public good. It cannot be in private hands. But the innovation on top of that public infrastructure can be in private hands and should be in private hands. So again, if you're thinking of a business model, one that presumes and assumes that one day we will have a central bank currency and you can build on top of that, would perhaps be a good approach. The third is that what kind of tokens, what kind of assets? Now, we had a discussion in SEBI many months ago with the previous chairman. And we were trying to have this debate as to what is the nature of crypto. Is it really an asset? Is it really a currency? What is it? And we came to the conclusion that to try and define the shape of crypto is like trying to define the shape of water. Water will take the shape of the vessel in which it is held. So if you put it in a square vessel, it will acquire a square shape. You put it in a round vessel, it will acquire the shape of a round vessel. So that is how the tokens will manifest. So if a token has an underlying of real estate, it will take the nature of real estate. If the token has an underlying of securities, it will take the nature of securities. If the token has a nature of currency, it will acquire the nature of currency. So these are all manifestations, and that is what is so complex about crypto, because it does not fall neatly under any label, because it can acquire any form and therefore does not fall neatly under any regulator, because we have product-based regulation in our country. And since this particular phenomenon, I would only call it a phenomenon, can acquire any shape and any form, it lends itself to a lot of complexity. But I'm sure as a country, we will get there. There is a lot of discussion and debate which is on, and we will get there. And the belief in DLT as a technology is certainly very strong. So long as I said, your business model does not rely on what I colloquially call Shanapanti. Okay, I don't know, those of you who are, Bombayites would understand this phrase. See, the whole idea is to do bad things. See, sooner or later, the regulation and regulator will close it down. It's only a matter of time. But if it is for the larger good and for a good purpose, it will always gain traction. So it depends on what you're really trying to do here. And that would be my advice to you if you're planning to enter that world.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am. My name is Nikhil, and I am from Punjab University. Ma'am, I have two questions. The first one is, how can we make our system secure? Like recently, we have seen that there's a scam in NSE. And the second question is, how government is seeing central bank digital currency, which is also based on blockchain technologies. So, what are your thoughts on those questions?
So, I think the second one, I just outlined my views on it. On the first question, as you can imagine, as a regulator, our quite a lot of our time is spent in thinking about how to make the system safer. And it's certainly a cause for concern if the market infrastructure institutions are found to be wanting in terms of their governance and other aspects. Because their whole existence is based on trust. You know, that the whole ecosystem trusts the market infrastructure institution. We have actually put in place a committee, it's called the Mahalingam Committee, which is looking into this matter in great depth. And the whole, I would say the single line mandate to that committee, if I were to summarize it, is that market infrastructure institutions are different from other market participants because the whole system has to trust them and the whole thing is based on trust. So what do we need to do to make sure that that trust is never broken? I think the committee is deliberating at length and they have in fact requested SEBI for additional time because so many complex issues have emerged. And I'm hopeful that in the next month or two, the report of that committee will be available to SEBI and we will then take a very considered view of the recommendations of the committee. But I think there can be no two views about the fact that MIIs are first level regulators and they are institutions of trust and that we can never allow that trust to be broken again. Okay, looks like we're all done.
Yeah, ma'am. As far as winners are concerned, they are done with their questions. You may like to have any further message for the audience. We have a grand audience here, not only the students, but large number of faculty members from across the country. So maybe you may like to have some more messages for us.
See, everybody knows my passion. I don't have to think very much when I think about what is the message I would like to leave behind. My passion is that data and technology is the future, and that's what's going to drive innovation. That's what's going to drive inclusion. That is what is going to drive risk management, compliance management. So anything and everything that people invest in these areas is something that is of deep interest to SEBI. And creating that capability for the future is of deep interest to SEBI. And therefore, I would only say that that is my single-minded message. But also, as a last word, I would like to thank NISM for carrying out this entire exercise. And it is something that makes us very proud. And it's been executed so well. Extremely happy to see that. And we look forward to doing much more together to really, as I said, democratize and bring to the forefront the talent from across the country. And in this year, as we celebrate Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, it is in the fitness of things that we have people from all over the country who are here on our stage today. And it makes me extremely proud. So thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. There could not have been better Sunday or in the lives of some of these youngsters. They will remember this day throughout their life and this honor they got, and all of us to have your very, very precious time and your words of wisdom. Thank you so much. Maybe, sir, you may like to say. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So as we move on, we would now like to introduce our guest of honor, Shri Ashwani Bhatia ji, whole-time member SEBI. Shri Ashwani Bhatia took charge as whole-time member SEBI on June 1st, 2022. Prior to this assignment, Shri Bhatia has held the position of Managing Director, State Bank of India. Shri Bhatia handles the Department of Debt and Hybrid Securities, Alternative Investment Fund and Foreign Portfolio Investors Department, Market Intermediaries Regulation and Supervision Department, Corporation Finance Investigations Department, and Office of Investor Assistance and Education. Shri Bhatia comes with the experience of over 3.5 decades in the State Bank Group, where he joined as a probationary officer in 1985. Before joining as Managing Director at State Bank of India, Shri Bhatia has served as MD and CEO of SBI Funds Management Private Limited. Shri Bhatia has a wide experience in treasury operations, retail banking, credit, investment banking, and asset management. Shri Bhatia completed his schooling from Air Force School, Delhi, graduation in physics and mathematics from Dayal Bagh University, Agra, and MBA from Podar Institute of Management, Jaipur. Sir, we are honored to have you over here with us today. And now we would request you to please address the gathering.
So, good afternoon to all of you. All the participants of the quiz come from all over the country. Over 3 lakh participants, 50,000 who actually participated, and all the winners who are here, and the bigger winners who are just behind us. So, let me go back 37 years when I joined the bank, and SBI Capital Markets had just opened, And I was an MBA and I said, why don't I do something bigger, get into investment banking? And the boss said, don't worry, Mr. Bhatia, Kumbh Mela aa raha hai. You are being posted to Hardwar. And I went to Hardwar, and the first day you are actually made to sit on the savings bank counter, right at the front desk. And you actually wonder how your career is going to take shape. And while I was being introduced, it said that I headed SBI Mutual Fund, and now I am with SEBI. In 85, when I joined, SBI Mutual Fund wasn't there. So that dream of becoming MD wasn't there. Even SEBI wasn't there. Okay. And there was another question, about where you should be investing. And Chairperson, of course, she talked about experiences, about donations, about what you should be doing. And I was wondering, in 1988, I opened my PPF account. And the balance right now is pretty decent. It's about 70 lakhs plus. Okay? No. Wait. So, and if I was wondering that, had I got that into a mutual fund in 1988, perhaps the balance would have been 5 crores. Okay. So the question there was, do you save or do you invest, and what should be the journey? So while traveling this morning from Bombay, I stay on Nepean Sea Road. I sent a message to Mr. Garg from there that my journey is going to take 95 minutes. Okay, I started exactly at 8:30 and I reached here at about 10, at 10:03. So a 95-minute journey in 93. And had I been with my wife or my daughter, हर एक मिनट में उन्होंने पूछा होता कि कितने मिनट बाकी हैं. I had decided that I will not see my phone again. And that is actually the message of investing. Okay. I thought to myself that had this been a smooth road, and if I was traveling on a maglev in Shanghai, this journey would have been completed in maybe 5 minutes or maybe even less, because it's a distance of just 40 kilometers. But there were bumps, there were speed breakers, there were potholes, there were bridges, there were toll roads, there was everything. Okay? So how do you actually invest in life, and where do you actually start? So the beginning of the journey is actually more important. And as I see it, the 50,000 people or the 3 lakh people who participated in this great initiative of SEBI and NISM should be our real ambassadors. They should be our resource people who can take forward the journey of awareness about investing and about making the entire journey better. So we oldies got into service in the 80s, and the 9 subjects that you had in the rapid fire, had you asked me the same questions, I can assure you I would have failed. You know, there's no question about it. So we never talked in the 80s about derivatives. We never talked about mutual funds. We never talked about regulation. We never talked about compliance. Economics, okay, just a little bit. But that is the way we have actually progressed. And the way the world is changing today, who would have ever thought that a war, and nobody would have even heard about Ukraine, how that will affect the world and how it will impact us and everybody else. It's very, very clear, right? So that is the journey. In that 96-minute journey, did we know that Ukraine is going to be there? Did we know that interest rates are going to be there? Did we know inflation is going to play a role? But the entire thing is about discipline finally. And whether you are able to navigate that, have the discipline, have the patience to create wealth for yourself. Another question that is also often asked is, do you save or do you invest? And when you invest, where do you invest first? As youngsters, I would only say, invest in yourself first. Arm yourself. So you may have done your engineering, you may have done your law, you may have done your MBA, but invest in yourself through more professional programs. Do your CFA, do your FRMs, and actually keep reading all the time. That is actually what is going to empower you to become better on the financial aspects, at least. If you do that, I think half the journey is won. Many of you, and of course a few questions were also on the stalwarts of the financial markets, and we do know about Lynch, we know about Charlie Munger, we know about Warren Buffett. Domestically, there are a few big names, and it's all about business and opportunity. And if you understand, the messages aren't very difficult. It's all about patience, keep the cash ready, and invest in good people, invest in good managements. That's the only thing perhaps that actually matters in the entire piece. But I think we are celebrating a unique event, 75 years of independence. We are just about 4 weeks or maybe 3 weeks away from the 75th anniversary. And we have done this to improve awareness, increase awareness amongst youngsters, amongst youth. So when you go back to your colleges, the professors, the principals, the lecturers, all of you who are here, do take the message that in addition to saving, in addition to opening a savings bank account, in addition to a fixed deposit account, in addition to a PPF account, there are parallel investment products. So for savings bank, there's a liquid scheme. For a fixed deposit, there's a FMP or a debt scheme. For a PPF, there is a equity-linked savings scheme, and people who want to take more risk, there is equity. Okay? And just the way the government did Jan Dhan, and they got 30 crore accounts opened, I think this also needs to be a mission. And I was actually very happy to listen to the lady from Maharashtra who said that in Maharashtra they've made it a mission to invest and to invest safely. I think if 50,000 of you try to reach out to maybe 100 people each, that can again become a leher. That can become our Jan Dhan moment, so as to say. So SEBI will be doing more of investor awareness. It will be doing more of investor education. But for all of you who are here, start your journey now. Be patient and invest, and don't save, and don't ask for the price every minute, like my 95-minute journey to NISM this morning. And I'm sure 30, 40, 50 years later, when you reflect, I think today would be a good starting point to say that yes, you took a good decision many, many years back, which helped you in creating wealth. So we need to be a country not of savers, but of investors, and who can invest wisely, responsibly, with patience. And I hope, and I'm sure, SEBI will be part of the entire journey with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your valuable thoughts with us. Now comes the most awaited moment of the day. We would request our dignitaries on the dais to please come forward and honor the regional winners of the quiz contest.
I would like to request the teams to please come from this side of the stage and leave from that side.
So now we have the winners from Central Region. Let's welcome Akshay Kataria and Vaishnavi Raj from School of Economics, Devi Ahilya Vishwavidyalaya, and congratulate them for scoring 3rd rank in National Quiz Contest in the Central Region.
Here goes the memento, medals and certificate to the winners of 3rd round for securing 3rd position in the Central Region in the quiz contest.
Everyone, let's congratulate Nilesh Khatri and Aryan from International Institute of Professional Studies for securing 2nd rank in Central Region. And our 1st rank holders from Central Region are Sachin Sharma and Zafar Ali from Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee.
I request the regional winners from the Eastern Region to please be at the back of the stage. Let's welcome on the stage Mr. Kushagra Verma and Amrita Bhardwaj for securing 3rd rank from Eastern Region from L.N. Mishra Institute of Economic Development and Social Changes. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Shreya Khandelwal and Kushagra Tiwari from West Bengal National University of Juridical Sciences, Kolkata. Please welcome Sahil Goyal and Sanya Bajaj from St. Xavier College for securing 1st position from Eastern Region in the quiz contest.
So now we have the winners from our Northern Region, Vinakshi Grover and Sonali from Meherchand Mahajan DAV College for Women, Chandigarh, for securing 3rd prize in the quiz contest in Northern Region. Let's congratulate Amish Agrawal and Samarth Jain from Ashoka University for securing 2nd rank in the quiz contest in Northern Region. Let's congratulate Ishan and Nikhil from Tilakraj Chadda Institute of Management and Technology for securing 1st rank in the quiz contest in Northern Region.
Moving on, now we may please have the regional winners from Southern Region for the quiz contest. Please welcome Madhusudan Lohia and Muhammad Jawadwala from Woxen University from Southern Region for securing 3rd rank in the quiz contest. Please welcome Arjun Kumar OG and Ishwar from Department of Management Studies, Puducherry for securing 2nd rank from Southern Region for quiz contest. Please welcome with a huge round of applause Shri Krishna and Naresh Gumani from NMAM Institute of Technology for securing 1st rank from Southern Region in the quiz contest. Please welcome on the stage Nikhil Murjani and Aditya Shikhar from Institute of Commerce, Nirma University for securing 3rd rank from Western Region in the quiz contest. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Divyash Jain and Vansh Dhawan from HR College of Commerce and Economics for securing 2nd rank from Western Region in the quiz contest. Please welcome Bhuvan Novukumar Das and Karthik T. Reddy from Mulund College of Commerce for securing 1st rank from Western Region in the quiz contest. Ladies and gentlemen, may we please have a huge round of applause for our regional winners of the quiz contest.
Now it's time for announcing the national winners of the quiz contest. So we have the 3rd prize winners who will be winning a cash prize of 60,000 rupees. Bhanu S. and Shantanu Jha from Management Development Institute, Gurgaon. Let's have a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
I would like to invite Aditya Karmakar and Sahil Ramchandani from Indian Institute of Foreign Trade on the stage for securing 2nd rank in the National Quiz Contest 2022. They will be winning a prize amount of 80,000 rupees. Aditya Karmakar and Sahil Ramchandani from Indian Institute of Foreign Trade.
And now the first prize winner in National Quiz Contest is Mr. Aniket Mishra and Jadhav Anshul Sanjay from VD Somk IIT Kharagpur. They'll be winning a cash prize of rupees 1 lakh rupees.
Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for our national winners for the Quiz Contest 2022. Now it's time to announce the national winners of SC Contest 2022, and I would like to invite on the stage Mr. Nikhil Sharma, who has secured 1st position in the essay writing contest in English language. Mr. Nikhil Sharma will be winning rupees 25,000 for participation in the quiz contest and being the national winner. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for Mr. Nikhil Sharma.
Let's congratulate Ms. Iti Mishra for securing 1st place in essay writing contest in Hindi language. Ms. Iti will also be winning a prize of rupees 25,000.
May we please invite Ms. Rupali Deepak Kulkarni, who has secured first rank in essay writing contest in Marathi language. Rupali will be winning a prize amount of Rs 25,000 for participating in the essay contest and securing first rank in Marathi language in essay contest. Please welcome Ms. Supraja Jeev, who has secured first rank in essay writing contest in Tamil language. Ms. Supraja will be winning an prize amount of Rs 25,000 for securing first rank in the essay writing contest. A huge round of applause for Ms. Supraja.
So now we would like to invite Mr. Ravi Sheshadri on stage, please, and we would request our dignitaries to honor our quiz master for the event. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a huge round of applause to our quiz master, Mr. Ravi Sheshadri.
Now may I please request Shri Sanjeev Bajaj, GM NISM, to please come on the stage and felicitate our dignitaries on the dais. Shri Ashwani Bhatia ji, whole-time member SEBI. I request Shri Bajaj to please honor Shri GP Garg, Executive Director SEBI. A small token of gratitude for you, sir. I request Shri Bajaj to present a token to Shri Santosh Kumar Sharma, Chief General Manager SEBI. A small token of gratitude for you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for honoring our participants, the winners of the contest.
And now, may I now request Shri Santosh Kumar Sharma, Chief General Manager SEBI, to propose vote of thanks. Mr. Sharma has handled several important assignments in SEBI since joining in March 1993. He has worked in various departments in SEBI, namely Corporation Finance Department, Corporation Finance Investigation Department, etc. Mr. Sharma's current portfolio includes Office of Investor Assistance and Education, Right to Information Cell, and Parliamentary Question Cell. Mr. Sharma is ex officio director of NCFA Board and is ACS Company Secretary. Please welcome Mr. Santosh Kumar Sharma.
Thank you, Komal. Respected whole-time member, Shri Ashwani Bhatia ji, ED Shri JP Garg, distinguished guests from SEBI and NISM, principal from esteemed institutions, and my dear participants and students, very good afternoon to you. It is a pleasure for me to propose the vote of thanks. Last 1 year, we have been celebrating the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, and it has been a wonderful experience. And this nationwide essay and quiz contest has added a feather to its glory. From the launch of quiz and essay writing contest till organizing the qualifier and final round at NISM campus, we have witnessed an overwhelming participation of participants as well as students from all parts of the country. I take this opportunity to thank the dignitaries, Srimati Madhabi Puri Buch, Chairperson SEBI, Shri Ashwani Bhatia, whole-time member, Shri J.P. Garg, Executive Director, under whose guidance this event has become a huge success. I am grateful to all the principals who motivated and guided their students throughout this journey, starting from first round till the final round which we are holding today. I also thank all the participants who made their efforts to compete and excel in both the contest, essay as well as quiz. I extend my congratulations to each and every quiz and essay participants who could not become a national winner, but they are also one sort of winner, because taking first step, who has taken the first step, he is the winner in this quiz and essay contest. Towards the end of the event, I would like to thank our knowledge partner NISM team and their valuable contribution in organizing this event. Lastly, I request all of you to give a big applause to Mr. Sasidris and team and our ITD, who has managed very well throughout the event. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Goodbyes are always the hardest when we have to part from some amazing memories and some great people. It has been an honor to be a part of this iconic event at NISM Patalganga campus.
It has been a pleasure to spend the last 3 days listening to our respected dignitaries and their invaluable thoughts, being a part of such interesting quiz contests and grooving to some melodious music on the cultural night. We thank you everyone, all our respected dignitaries for being us during the event, officials from SEBI and NISM, our participants from across the country, and this beautiful campus of NISM for hosting us. We would cherish these amazing moments forever.
Now we request everyone to please rise for the National Anthem.
पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
It should be loud, isn't it? Bharat Mata Ki! Matram! Thank you so much, everyone. I request the national winners for quiz and essay to please wait here, and rest of our audience may please have the lunch at the MDP canteen.